suck it up and to say, hey, this is what happened, and can we, take some time to get it together? And, but when you do something for the first time, it's always hard. You're already nervous. What do you say to that woman that, she's ready to pull the trigger, but she's afraid of it's not perfect yet. The website's not quite perfect. The technology is not quite perfect. The, business card, and, she don't have quite that great tagline that she thinks is going to draw people in. What do you say to that person who's basically taken 6 months to get it ready, and every day that she's waiting, she's losing business?
Right. You can't wait any longer, and you need to make sure you're ready at a certain level that's respectable. The catch-22, which most people don't realize, until you start talking to your clients, you're never going to know what's right because you don't know. And people are like, what? I'm like, you don't know how to proceed because you have to get that next step from your clients. That's part of reputation marketing. So if you think your product does this, this, and this, and you do this full-blown advertising agency, thousands of dollars, TV and all, and you have these 3 things that you think your product is going to appeal to your clients, and you start selling your products, and then you find out that those are not the same 3 that your clients experience. So I firmly believe you have to move forward in order to move ahead. And you're never going to move ahead until you have those clients and you get their experiences of what they experienced when they use your products. And then you start creating your tagline. So I had a client who had a retail store, health store, and she informed me that she was buying scarves. And I said, why are you buying scarves? She says, oh, they're great. I went to a show, and they're just fabulous. And so I bought 2,500 scarves. And I said, what? What? So I said, well, so you had your clients ask for scarves, right? And she looks at me kind of dumbfounded. She says, no. I said, so you bought scarves because you like them? Not because your clients asked you for that. She goes, yeah. I said, well, guess what? She still has the scarf because nobody wanted them.
Right.
She thought they were cool. So how can you know how to proceed, or how do you know what your qualities and your strengths are if you don't ask the people who use your product? It's just mind-boggling to me. So in my second book about reputation marketing for small business, it's based on moving forward on the reputation of your products, based on the experience of the people who actually use them. People have this hard time with, I think it's ego. They don't have the esteem, but they have the ego part down. But they base their advertising and marketing based on what they think and not what your consumer thinks, which to me is just craziness. The TV commercials, when you watch them and they're over and you don't know what they were about.
Oh, yes, I remember those.
What is that about? I mean, is it an ego trip for the owner, or you just want to waste money? I don't understand. Or, they'll have a celebrity endorsing a product. Well, who cares what they,
Right.
We're still on the same level with the Rolling Stones and Beyonce. Yeah, sure, we are. I'm right there. And then you have your Paula Dean and your Phil Robertson, who got into trouble recently, and it's just mind-boggling to me that people who run a business don't bother asking their clients, or don't even. I had a client who we actually parted ways because we were just never going to agree. And I asked him, he told me he needs a new website. And I said, why do you need a new website? And he looked at me and goes, well, I don't know. And I said, I don't know either. I don't know enough about what you do. And he says, well, no, I want a new website. And I said, well, okay. I said, so who's your client? He says, well, I don't know. And I'm like, Okay, first of all, how can you not know who buys your products? Second of all, how do you know how to create a website for somebody you don't know? If the website is not for you, you understand that, right? Your website is to talk to your clients and to help your clients make purchases faster, to be able to help your staff fulfill orders quicker. That's what technology is for, but not to make you feel better because you like your website. Sometimes the more the owner hates the website, the more closer I am to getting the website right, because the owner's not the client. So it's a little bit of a different take on launching your company. You have to be really in tune with who your clients are. And I mean, I have clients who now only create new products or get new product lines in after the customers ask for it. That's a novel idea. Not to
Yeah, I would
you
say that seems so
first.
simple, but at the same time, so we always talk about knowing your client. How would you recommend somebody who's just starting a business? Where would they start to even do the research?
Social media. Oh my goodness, that's the best place ever. That's my dream. You can go on Facebook and you can go on LinkedIn, and if you identify your clients to be and it's funny because on LinkedIn I'm not on any marketing or web designer groups. They work on my nerves. So I'm where my client is. Go where your client is. Go into community websites. If you're alumni of a college, start there and start contacting people. If I'm creating this new product for widgets, what do you think? So you can start the dialogue with folks, with people who are in your circle as well, whether it be social media or face-to-face. Call up 5 of your closest friends and say, hey, what do you think about this? I'm going to send you a product. You use it, and I'll call you back in a couple of days, and you tell me what you think. You need to do your own market research. And when you go to agencies, sometimes they make the market research kind of leaning towards whatever they want to do. But for example, I went on one of the trip sites to plan a trip to Dallas. So I was looking for air flights to Dallas out of Philadelphia and out of JFK Airport. And lo and behold, I go on my Facebook page, and everything on that Facebook page was about Dallas.
Yes.
So
isn't it wonderful how they track
in.
you down?
Yep, it tipped in. So, when I play some games, I go on my games, and there's all this stuff about Dallas. So this is how and what they base their market research on. So you have to become a mini one of those. And I'm not saying you can get ads on Facebook like that, but ask people, call them up. It's a novel thing to go and actually call and talk to people on the phone. Go visit. Even better, go for dinner. Have a glass of wine. I mean, face-to-face is never going to be replaced by social media. So take advantage of it. And people sometimes, I think, hide, and I think women really hide behind social media. I think they really hide behind their Facebook, their LinkedIn, their website. You know what, girlfriend? Get out there. It is you. You want them to invest and have confidence in you. So guess what? You can't hide. Oh, I'm too busy. No, you're not too busy. You don't want to. Make the time, schedule the time to go face-to-face networking, whether it be something through a business organization locally. Call your friends and say, hey, do you know anybody who goes to this meeting? You have to be aware of your community and start there. It's cheap. I see a lot of women who hide. They use it as an excuse. Oh, I got to get this email. I got to do this newsletter. I got to do this blog. You know what? Face-to-face is going to be 200% better than writing that blog. Guaranteed.
I would agree with that.
You agree?
Definitely. I mean, that's how Launch Over 40 started. Even with you and I met you through LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So again, hiding behind social media, websites, blogging is really quite easy, and you are your best asset. You know, you are your ace in the hole. There's only one of you, and you're the one who's going to make the difference in your business.
And people like to work with people. No matter how high tech we get, people like to work with people.
For example, I don't text. I hate texting. Don't do it. You want to talk to me that bad, you call me. Same device, same number. Ring a ding ding. I'll talk to you.
That is so funny.
People yell at me, "Why aren't you texting?" Because I want to talk to you.
I just think talking is faster. I mean, my son always fussed at me. He said, "Mom, if I wanted to talk to you, I would have called you." And I'm like, "Honey, by the time you text, I text, you text me back. We could have had the conversation and it's over."
Yeah, and you have a conclusion, and you can move on to the next thing. And I think that's 100% on target. When you're on LinkedIn, you have these endless conversations that you have to stop following the discussion because you don't even remember what it was about, and yet you're still getting these reminders about this discussion that started back in November, for goodness sake.
What kind of questions do you think women should start off with when they start a business? Because the other day I was actually talking to a young lady in her early 50s, and she's semi-retired due to health issues, and she has a blog. And we was talking about, she was really concerned more about traffic. And I had to stop her, and I said, well, even if you got an additional 5,000 people on your site tomorrow, you don't have anything to sell. You know, I mean, like she's blogging, but blogging in itself is not the business. So what kind of questions do you think that women should ask themselves to kind of know, are they on the right track? Because there's so much information coming at you in social media or online. You know, I see it all the time. But when I stopped her and said, okay, even if you have more people, what are you selling? Like, how are you making money? And she really didn't think that way. She had a couple of Google ads up and some Amazon things up. And if you're affiliate on Amazon and you really don't have thousands and thousands of people, you're not really making a lot of any sales.
Right. And blogging has a lot of noise. There's a lot of blogs. And if you look at the statistics, most blogs aren't read. And it's just I call it a time hog. It's just something that you can say, I'm working, I do my blog every day. And I'm like, well, big whoop. You know, big whoop. So, and again, it's one of those, I think women hide behind it because if it's easy for them, they can say, well, I'm working really hard on my blog. Well, I would rather you work on something that's actually going to generate revenue. And that's what being in business is. And sometimes women forget, it's from the heart. I'm like, yeah, but you got to pay the bills. This is a capitalist country. You got to make money at this stuff. How are you going to do it? Let's talk about getting ads on you can sell ads on your blog. But again, you need the people to be there to prove that and to generate the traffic to their website. You can set up a pay-per-click program. But again, you're going to have to do other things to make it work. So if you just want to sit and you just want to write and you just want to do a blog and make no money, that's perfect. Yeah, you're doing it. There you go. But if you have to make a living at it, you have to make money of it, that's a whole other mindset for blogging. You then have to go into the business side. And I'm in the process of writing an article and a section of the book. It's the 5 laws of business. And you can't be good at all of them. And I hate to inform some folks. You have your legal, you have your finance, you have your marketing, you have like these 5 different areas, customer service and the actual product. And you're not going to be good at all of those. So you either have to go to law school and become an attorney or talk to a lawyer, or go onto those legal websites and find out the information. And most people aren't willing to put in all that work that is required to own a business. It's a lot of work, and you have to wear a lot of different hats. And if the hat doesn't fit your head, you have to find somebody who can do it for you. And people tell, well, we don't have the money to do that. Well, you're going to have to invest in it. I didn't make the rules. You have to have legal protection. You have to have an accounting, protection. You have to have a good product, good customer service, and you have to be able to market your product. And these are all parts of a business. And if you don't do all five, then you're not really a business. It's a hobby.